Andrew Tate. What was it like meeting Andrew Tate?
What's it like being him?
I'm meeting him.
Oh, meeting him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I can't tell you that. I only met him once, and he was actually like, honestly, he was exactly how I expected him to be. Very sharp, polite, nice, like, well spoken, very respectful. And that's how I actually thought he was gonna be. A lot of people would see him and expect him to be like a very different way, but like I've just met enough celebrities and seen enough like online persona or whatever. And I've seen a lot of his interviews, like I saw his first Piers Morgan and I saw his second one, and I like, and I talked to him after the first one. I was like, I'd just be a lot more combative if I were you. This guy's being an asshole. He's clearly trying to like get a gotcha moment, and he's like not being your friend, and you're, being too polite to this guy. Like call him out. He's virtue signaling. Tell him he's virtue signaling, because that's exactly what he's doing. Tell him he's a douchebag. Yep. Because he was. So it's like, if the guy's acting like a jackass, tell him he's acting like a jackass. And the second time, I felt like it was night and day better, because he was just like a lot more certain. And he went in there like a little bit more prepared, and like Pierce is trying to do that. He's going to try and like, sabotage. He's got his whole team looking at everything he's done for the last 10 years. And I would have said that to him. I'd be like, listen, it's real easy for you to sit here on your TV show that you're editing and try and like, point out all the mistakes that I've made for the past 10 years. I guarantee you haven't been so perfect. Like I trust the guys that lead with their worst. That's what I do. I lead with my worst shit. I don't try and convince you that I'm a great guy. Like I may do good shit, but I'm not bragging about it. I worry about the guys that are bragging about all the good shit that hide all the bad shit, because those are the scumbags. Yeah. Those are the guys you got to watch out for. Like I guarantee Pierce got a closet skeletons. Yep. I promise you. Not me. I'm not worried about shit. I told you, ask me whatever you want in this interview, and I tell that to everybody. There's no questions that are off limits. There's no subject I'm worried about. I don't have to prepare. Like I don't care, because I'm just going to tell you the honest answer. I don't have to think about it, because it is what it is. Like,
yeah.
It's like, we don't have to remember lies. We don't have to come up with some crafty answer. It's just like, okay, like I haven't been perfect. I'm not trying to say that I was, and I don't think anybody is.
Yeah.
So the more that you can just kind of own your mistakes and the shitty things about you, the more I'm going to trust you.
Yeah, the Piers Morgan interview, we actually went to London with Andrew when he did it. And I remember after he was like, I don't know how that interview went and everything. And, and then it came out and I looked at it and it pissed me off a little bit, because I could see he had an agenda. He kept cutting Andrew off. I was like, this is fucking bullshit. But the YouTube comments never lie, man. Yeah. And they roasted Piers Morgan for that. And I think Andrew, when it ended up coming out and you can actually watch the full interview, everything, Piers Morgan, I think, actually made himself look really bad, which is why on the second interview, he toned it back, was a lot more respectful, let him finish the sentences, etc. So, the people aren't stupid. They always see the jump cuts, they see the edits, and they see when you're trying to push an agenda or virtue signal. So, thankfully.
I also think Andrew stood up for himself the second time more.
Yeah.
Bullies respond better to that.
Yeah.
A bully gets more and more empowered every time you kind of like dance around something and they feel like they can get you, or, they can just keep cutting you off. That's what Piers has, like bully, mentality. It's like, okay, we're going to raise our voice. We're going to cut somebody off. We're going to fucking, stand on this fucking, virtue signaling fucking, hill that we have. It's like, he just does all this shit, right? And so I think he's not going to respect somebody. He's, it's like, he's like a stripper to me. Strippers don't have respect for themselves. So when somebody treats a stripper really good, that stripper loses respect for that
facts.
person. Yeah. So like, but when you call them out and tell them that they're a piece of shit, and they think that they're a piece of shit deep down, they'll actually respect you more. And that's why strippers always end up with fucking guys that treat them like shit, because they don't feel like they're that great. So when a guy treats them how they feel like they should be treated, then they respond better. It's kind of bad for the strippers, because it's like kind of a fucking like, recipe for unhappiness.
Thank you. Someone else said it. I've always said it. When you treat strippers well, they treat you like crap, because they're not used to guys treating them well, because quite frankly, they know their POSs most of the time.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I mean, that's the thing, is like somebody that doesn't think highly of themselves, it's very difficult to treat them well and get a positive result.
Yeah.
If they don't think they deserve to be treated well, then you're just like, digging yourself a hole.
Wasting your time.
Yeah, they lose more and more respect for you. It's like, I found this with girls. Because for me, it's like I had all this fucking money. Like, if I could just, hand a girl $10,000 and solve some of her problems that I was dating, like that's the path of least resistance for me, because the least thing I care about, and it's something that she cares about, money isn't going to change my life in any way, shape, or form. I won't even fucking notice it's like a penny falling out of my pocket, right? But like, I found that by doing that, it would actually fucking hurt my relationship with her.
That's powerful.
Yep.
Powerful.
Like, I would have to force myself to not do it.
Yeah.
It's like, here's the problem. We could throw money at it and solve it, right? But like, I had to be careful with doing that with the wrong girls because they would actually, like I said, treat you worse because of it.
Yeah.
Because all the guys that had done that previously were fucking simps and suckers and whatever. So it's like, you know, by doing that, you put yourself into that category, and then you also kind of like, you know, she starts like subconsciously like viewing you as like a guy that, you know, is trying to earn her respect or whatever the fuck ever. You know?
Yeah. And it's crazy how like guys don't understand this until they get burned. Like I've always said it, like typically the worst women that like are super promiscuous, terrible people